The Young and the Restless, Spoilers Full. Welcome back to our channel, you guys. Today is a beautiful day. The sun is shining, and it is the absolute perfect time to dive into the total, unhinged madness that is currently unfolding on our favorite show. Grab a huge cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's get right into the thick of it because things are getting wild. So let's just get right into the biggest, most explosive piece of news that has completely shattered any illusion of safety in Genoa City. Patty Williams is out. Yes, you heard me right. Patty Williams could not possibly sit still in that prison cell for another minute. And honestly, are any of us actually surprised? The Genoa City Police Department is basically a revolving door for supervillains at this point. But the way she got out is what is absolutely driving me crazy right now. According to the latest notes and spoilers, Patty didn't just pick a lock or dig a tunnel behind a poster. No. There was a mysterious man involved. A guy wearing a mask just casually waltzed into the prison, bypassed whatever laughable security they have, and unlocked her cell. And the craziest part, Patty doesn't even know who this guy is. She has no idea who the man behind the mask is, but she obviously didn't stick around to ask him for his ID. They just ran. They fled the scene into the night. It is terrifying. It is honestly the stuff of nightmares if your last name is Abbott. Because the very second Patty tasted freedom, her brain immediately went to one thing and one thing only, punishing Jack and Diane. Let's just stop and think about this for a second. Who on earth would break Patty Williams out of jail? What were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well for anyone involved? You don't just unleash a feral, obsessed, violent woman into the world unless you have a very specific, very dark agenda. So we have to talk about the suspects. We have to break down exactly who this masked man could be, because the list of people who are crazy enough to interact with Patty is short, but it is incredibly messy. First of all, we have to talk about Kyle Abbott. I know. It sounds insane that Kyle would break out the woman who wants to destroy his own father and stepmother. But let's look at the facts. Just a few episodes ago, Kyle was literally standing in Patty's jail cell, making a highly dangerous, shocking deal with her to get revenge on Victor Newman. Claire Newman even warned him. She was furious and told him not to mess with her grandfather. But Kyle is so traumatized right now, so blinded by his rage over what happened to Jack and Diane previously, that he is making terrible choices. Did Kyle orchestrate this breakout thinking he could use Patty as a weapon against Victor? Is he the masked man, or did he hire someone to put on a mask and do it? If Kyle is behind this, he has severely miscalculated, because Patty doesn't care about Victor right now. Patty cares about Jack and Diane. If Kyle let the monster out of the cage, he might have just signed his own parents' death warrants. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. Kyle is in way over his head. But maybe I'm being too harsh on Kyle. Maybe it's not him. Let's pivot to the most obvious, terrifying candidate, Dr. Laurence Marcam. This guy is an absolute psycho. He and Patty are like a match made in hell. Remember, they worked together to kidnap Abby and Dominic, which caused Ashley Abbott to have a complete primal breakdown. Markham is a monster. We also know that Markham recently ambushed Diane in her car, popping up from the back seat and choking her with a wire before the car crashed. He is obsessed with destroying Diane, and Patty is obsessed with Jack. They share the same targets. It makes perfect sense that Markham would put on a mask, break into the prison, and get his partner in crime back. He needs Patty's chaotic energy, and Patty needs his calculated evil. If the masked man is Markham, then Jack and Diane need to leave the state immediately. Honestly, they need to leave the country. And then there is the Victor Newman theory. I mean, we always have to suspect Victor, right? Victor has a long documented history of using Patty Williams to terrorize Jack Abbott. He brought her to town years ago just to mess with Jack. But would he do it now? Patty just kidnapped his granddaughter, Abby, and his great-grandson, Dominic. Victor was furious about that. He wants to protect his family. So breaking Patty out seems counterproductive for the mustache right now, unless, of course, Victor thinks he can completely control her and point her like a loaded gun directly at the Abbott mansion. But even Victor has to know that Patty is a wild card that cannot be tamed. Let's zoom out and talk about the bigger pattern here. The writers love this dynamic. They love the Patty and Jack obsession. It is a legacy storyline. Patty's delusion that Jack belongs to her is one of the longest running, most terrifying character traits on this show. Remember when she got plastic surgery to look exactly like Dr. Emily Peterson just so she could marry Jack? Remember the stuffed cat? Remember when she poisoned Summer Newman? Patty is not just a nuisance. She is a lethal threat. And the fact that she is now running around Genoa City completely off the grid with a mysterious masked ally is giving me major anxiety. Just think about where Jack and Diane are right now mentally. They are already broken. Diane was kidnapped by Markham, locked in a padded cell, completely traumatized. Jack was stabbed. They have been through absolute hell over the last few months. Diane is paranoid, constantly looking over her shoulder, terrified that Markham is going to finish the job. And Jack is trying to hold his family together while dealing with Kyle's reckless behavior and his own complicated feelings. Now, add a free, vengeful Patty Williams to that mix. It is a recipe for an absolute disaster. And let's not forget what happened just a little while ago in that prison visiting room. Tracy Abbott, sweet, kind novelist, Tracy literally lost her mind, grabbed Patty by the hair and screamed at her until Patty confessed to stabbing Jack and working with Markham. Tracy physically assaulted her to get the truth. You guys, Tracy was a total badass in that moment, but you know Patty is holding a grudge. Patty does not forgive, and she definitely does not forget. When she says she wants to punish Jack and Diane, I would bet everything I own that Tracy is on that hit list too. Patty is going to want to make the entire Abbott family bleed for locking her up and pulling her hair. The fans on social media are already losing their minds over this. Half the people are screaming about how incompetent the Genoa City police are. Like, seriously, do they even lock the doors at that precinct? And the other half are just thrilled because Stacey Hyduke plays crazy so incredibly well. Whenever she is on screen, you cannot look away. But the narrative corner the writers have painted themselves into is wild. How many times can Patty escape? How many times can she terrorize Jack before someone actually puts a stop to it permanently? So what is Patty's first move going to be? She is out in the dark, running with this masked man. She has no resources of her own, which means she is entirely dependent on whoever broke her out. If it's Markham, they are probably heading to some creepy underground bunker to plan a coordinated strike on the Abbott mansion. If it's Kyle, well, if it's Kyle, he is going to try to hide her, and she is going to immediately escape his control because Kyle couldn't manage a lemonade stand right now, let alone a legacy psychopath. I just keep picturing Diane sitting in the Abbott living room. It's late at night. The wind is howling. The security guards are probably asleep because they always are. And suddenly, the French doors blow open. It's classic soap opera tension. Diane has been pushing Jack away. They've been arguing. The stress of the Markham situation has been tearing their marriage apart. And now, the ultimate test is coming for them. Patty wants Jack back or she wants him dead. There is no in-between with her. She told Jack that he never really loved Diane, that they were meant to find the magic they had on that yacht. She is deeply, severely delusional. And what about the masked man? Why the mask? If it was Markham, Patty knows what he looks like. Maybe he wore the mask just to avoid the prison security camera? Or maybe the masked man is someone Patty does know, but he is hiding his identity from her on purpose. What if it's someone completely out of left field? What if it's Martin Laurent? Tracy was just talking about taking a massive risk to contact Martin to find out about his twin brother, Alan and Doctor. Markham? What if Martin is the one who broke Patty out to use her in some twisted game of his own? A psychopath teaming up with another psychopath. It would be absolute chaos. Honestly, my brain is spinning with all the possibilities. The writers have set up a massive mystery here. We have a jailbreak, a masked man, a vengeful villain, and a family that is already on the brink of collapse. I am exhausted just thinking about how this is going to play out. But I also can't wait to see it. It feels like a throwback to the golden era of soap operas, where the villains were truly terrifying and the stakes were life or death. Let's just hope that Jack and Diane have upgraded their home security, because Patty Williams is coming for them, and this time she has a secret weapon. A masked man who knows how to pick locks and bypass the cops. The Abbotts are sitting ducks. I don't know how they survive this without someone getting seriously hurt or worse. We are in for a very, very bumpy ride, you guys. Keep your eyes peeled, because the next few episodes are going to be explosive.